Greetings, I am Lies and I use she, her.
And I am Scandal and I use they, them.
And
Let's play a game together.
Goodness. Well, we have the seriousness that we have embarked upon. Meanwhile.
Yes, meanwhile. The things we click on?
Huh.
Gara, I need your help. It's very important. Your advice, once again, dear sister.
Wait. He is also using a woman to do his math?
Oh dear.
Is that what this is?
That's terrible. Ever since childhood, I have relied on you. I can't stop now. Okay. It's the strange Berliner who we have allowed into the radius. He vexes me.
He's too pretty. I'm sorry, I will be serious, but
days have turned weeks and he shows no sign of leaving us. Okay. And leave us he must. Why?
She looks a mess, poor
He is a cancer eating at our little troop.
He's causing divisiveness instead of the stagnation and placidity that we had before.
He's causing change.
Change. He's causing change.
They do not.
Especially if they're comfortable.
Waiting for this to pop up because, okay, so I did actually hear about some people who would discuss basically with other mathematicians under the guise of being somebody else, and as soon as they found out, for example, like, that this was a woman, like, they would steal everything they had. They were like, your stuff isn't valid, blah, 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 and then they would go and they would just use their stuff. Or from the very beginning, you had basically a woman who was very intelligent who would be working with another mathematician, and the guy would go, oh, no, I'll publish your research for you.
And he would take all the credit, and no one would care or defend her.
Yep, not at all.
Yes.
The other fellows resent him.
Okay.
I'm like, yeah, you have to click
I got
unfortunately. Each time he solves the problem of the week, I can see the contempt for us in his eyes.
Him desperately trying to be accepted and get access to support and help you. He is showing off and is just going, I'm better than all of you.
So this is the thing that I think is really funny and is very accurate. Like funny in that sort of hilarious, like sad, like bitter way of where you do realize that nobody actually knows what anybody else is fucking thinking. Nope. And sometimes it is definitely way more frequent than you will ever realize. But it's just like, oh god, we really do not know what we're doing.
And the thing is it's amazing how much society has that. So one of the many self-betterment books that I've read over time covered we tend to perform what we think other people want us to do. So it's what we think they're thinking and what we think that means. It's like 3 levels of distillation.
Oh yeah.
Of going, we have an idea of what they're thinking, which isn't actually what they're thinking. And then we have an idea of what that means, and then we interpret how to perform it.
Yes, and then that's even buried under, like, well, do I perceive them as a man and a woman? Do I perceive them to be a good man?
It's filtered through all of the social, mores that there are.
There's so many.
And the thing is like, there's so much of, currently there's a big discussion of like, neurodivergent people need everything talked out and spelled out explicitly, and neurotypical people, don't. They can just communicate. They can just read the room, kind of thing. And I believe that basically everyone needs to talk it out. That no one really just knows what the other people are doing. There's just some people that get along with the formula better than others.
Right. I think even like with my own family, where I was like, how did you guys just get along? How did you guys just do something? Like, well, that's just what you did. And I've always found it to be so interesting to watch basically other generations where the expectation was you just needed to know what you were doing. So you just knew, quote, what you were doing. And so it would be, you would just flawlessly spout off bullshit. Just completely talking out of your ass about shit you had no idea about. And it would be astounding to me growing up. And so you would pretend constantly.
And everyone all pretended together, and anyone who asked about the delusion was the problem.
Yes.
Or who asked about the big pretend, the big masquerade that everyone was doing.
Right.
It's that idea of that, all the adults know what's going on, and I don't, except for they don't.
Yeah.
Alright. In his eyes.
Now, this.
Oh, he just smacks the papers. That was actually pretty poignant. I liked that.
What? Nenner gave me Shell's current research. It's my field, after all. But Shell would never ask me for help. Actually, he's tried.
He actually did try, but you refused him, and you won't admit
I was about to say, in your basically self-aggrandizing delusion, going, oh, you know, he wouldn't talk to me, blah, blah, he's just causing problems. It's like, no, I did.
He's tried several times, and you cut him off every time.
I'm like, at least us in regards to forcing ourselves to go, you know, poke at him multiple times, going, I don't want to hear about it, you know, this is my field, you're not allowed. Like, that is what we kept getting. So, would never ask me for help. Actually, we did, but you don't want to give help because it's, quote, your field.
Well, and the thing is I've met people like that, and actually occasionally, you know, you'll get access roundabout or by, you know, being present in a space where they don't realize that, you know, you're listening or things like that, walking past a conversation, or someone else just, you know, telling you word of mouth and going, hey, this person was saying this thing. Occasionally you get access to the fact that they aren't able to understand that that's you asking because their language is so different than yours.
Yes.
And so their method of what it looks like to ask is something you would never come up with the roundabout, you know, contrived, you know, ways to do it.
No! It's good, Kara. I think I see where he's heading, though. And it is a dead end. I think I could help him, but I hesitate. Why? I think
You're
it's
insecure.
Fine. You are deeply insecure because you will be replaced, as it were. Because
also,
it's mine.
If he's seen as younger or more handsome than you, or if he could be, you know, a new rising star, there is a level of going, you know, you could be displaced. But also of if you're basically leading the group, you could lose that position if it's all by prowess and, you know, I'm you know, the best at this thing. But also a level of if he's prideful, I shouldn't help him because, you know, people shouldn't be like that.
Yeah. Because I fear him. I fear he will prove it. He's going towards a dead end, but actually that I fear that he will win. What? He's not there yet.
Basically going, this that he's holding is heading towards a dead end, but I fear that he's going to actually find a way to make it work.
I'm just saying, like, it's an interesting contradiction going, I know, I fear, I know where he's going to go towards a dead end, but then I also fear that he's going to solve it. Well, which is interesting, because that is usually the paradox of actually going, I think what you're really, because the but says the truth here, but I fear he will actually succeed.
Yep.
And that is actually what you care about, is going, but he will be successful and I don't want that.
And also going, it is scary. I'm going, if he doesn't succeed, it's whatever it is, but if he does, it's terrifying.
Yeah. He's not there yet, but one day, sooner rather than later, he could cast all of my work into shadow.
Yep, you're afraid of becoming irrelevant.
Of course you are. I can't allow that to happen. Can I? No, you're right as always.
Yeah, she doesn't even speak to him, does she?
I can't allow it. Oh, God. First, I will appeal to his sense of justice. I may be able to convince him to turn away from this line of research and return to Berlin. If not, I must defend myself. I feel like what's going to happen here is that this character, so again, what will come into play is this character will find out that you're a woman.
And then it
in
won't
order
matter.
to discredit, and it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So this is where we're gonna go. You understand that, don't you? Your brother Gernot must defend his honor. That is not your honor, though. Our family honor.
Because it's only your family honor if you're being useful right now because you're the boy.
Because that is how it works for men. And I also think, what if that's also part of the problem going, like, you are literally taking away everybody else's chance, basically, to solve the problem of the week, like an arrogant fuck, where all of us, because we're all men, you are the only one who's allowing, you're taking over everybody else's chances to win. So, like, the competition only goes so far as, like, you need to let other people start winning, or we'll all start turning against you. Because as much as dudes really like competition, is what I grew up with, I feel like there's a level of that they will literally start throwing you out, because it is, you need to let one of us win as well, or we will eat you. It's not this isn't actually a group effort in the end.
The weird thing is that they keep going, the problem of the week is already being worked on. And, well, why don't you solve it? Like, it keeps being put on us or challenged at us.
Which is actually a good point. Where we're going, we can't figure it out, so why don't you do it? And
then getting angry at you when you do.
Yeah. Pretty much. I'll go to him. His address is on these papers Niner gave me.
Oh god, is this gonna be it?
Oh boy. I'll go.
Why would our address
Reason
be on there?
with him. Huh?
Why would our address be on there? Why would we give Ned our address?
I don't know.
That sounds weird.
Sigh, I don't know. And if he refuses to listen to reason? Why, in that case, I will destroy him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sir, that's terrible. On the other hand, it's like, I don't know what your being relevant means to you. I don't know if you're afraid if you'll lose actually, like, financial stability, if you'll lose your position in the radius and your funding, if you'll lose what. I don't know what you have at stake, sir.
Kills me.
Not that it matters for your own validity, but it would help.
Yeah, but like...
For my connection.
Like, what interests me, though, is also going, like, this is my work. Don't you have other work? How does this work?
Also
like, that's what I'm curious about, going, can't you do something else? Like, he must do something else. Well, what about you? Can't you do something else?
Also, I'm going, okay, but like, you're saying he needs to go back to Berlin, but if he goes to Berlin and finishes this work, it's still going to be done over there. And I know
but I won't hear about it.
I just say, but the thing is even if it takes a long time to communicate and you don't have the same network of quick communication you do here, there is still the mathematical area and communications across it. Such and such equation has been solved over here, and it does get around 6 months, 2 years later.
Okay, so, thematically, let me ask this question. Why did we watch that scene?
So that we would change our behavior. Because I was wondering why we saw that scene at all.
I was about to say, to me, that felt almost kind of manipulative, of going, here's this guy who's going to do anything to destroy you. And I'm like, I already knew that? This feels sort of like a reinforcement of going, like, yeah, like, okay.
Well, and I was going to ask.
But also trying to be like, wait,
in either of the other two stories, have we spent any time alone with a character we couldn't see?
No.
I don't think we've cut away in either of the other two stories to someone else by themselves that we weren't privy to.
Yeah, I think I agree with you there.
So this is new and different, and I don't know why it's there, other than we assume you won't be able to connect to the fact that this guy could be sympathetic, ? Or that he's a danger. I don't know what that scene was for either. Other than, player, you should really be cautious of this thing, and it's about to happen.
I mean, to me, with the somber music and the, oh no, I'm talking to my sister and whatever else is going, I think you were meant to be trying to sympathize with the character. And I have to say, I'm kind of like, I don't really care still. I'm like, honestly, in that way, I'm like, no, like, yeah, like...
I think it goes again for that, if I'm meant to sympathize with him, I'd like to know more of what he has at stake.
Mm-hmm.
Not like I need someone to be on the edge of destitution to be able to sympathize with them.
Oh, of course not.
But connecting to what their fears and struggles are. Like, I'm one of those people who can be like, someone is incredibly well off and set up, but they have a deep, profound fear of fill in the blank. I can sympathize with that fear.
Right.
Somebody is in a horrendous situation at the bottom of everything, and they have a deep and profound fear. I can sympathize with that. It's why if you have a complex, sort of villain or bad guy character, and they got this is my motivation, I can usually go, okay, that motivation makes sense. I don't agree with it, but it makes sense.
So I can understand it, but I still don't,
I don't support it necessarily. Yeah. Or there's, I would definitely pick another way.
The next morning.
The next morning.
Yay.
As I was a girl in bed. And then we're with him again.
Wait, we're gonna be him?
I don't know. Or we're just watching him for reasons.
Are those turnips are fresh off the truck?
We went to the market without ourselves.
Fantastic.
I've never known how to prepare the turnips. But we do cook. They are like wood.
You cook? Peculiar. I'm calling you a queer, just so you know. There's a trick, you see.
Except for the cooking trick.
Most people boil the turnips for 40 minutes or so, depending upon how big they are, and leave it at that. Okay, so the reason why I pointed that out is that's really weird, because you'd be like, okay, if you're a bachelor, who the fuck is supposed to cook for you?
Well, the thing is if you're a bachelor, you may still have a housemaid, or you may always eat out. That's why they're constantly at the cafe. They kind of live there, because it's where they get all their food.
Oh, fair.
That was a lifestyle.
Oh, fair.
Or where you have a club membership and you always
so
eat at the club.
it is really, going like, that's really strange. I just find that to be funny, though. I'm like, why would this concept of saving money, well, why would you? Because technically, okay, so the thing is you didn't need to save money because you were considered to be an upperclassman. If you're an upperclassman, you literally got a certain amount of money, period, per year, no matter what.
You had an income.
You had a guaranteed income. You were part of the lords. You were part of, basically, the aristocracy. If you were basically...
a trust fund or something that paid you indefinitely a certain amount. Your
exactly.
yearly allowance.
Yes.
Yes.
And I'm like, oh, okay. I'm forgetting what time period I'm in, but also, like, that makes sense.
I also think this is goddamn hilarious of going, you cook? How weird. And then the man telling you how to cook.
I cook anyway.
And you know what? That happens all the goddamn time.
Okay.
Where guys are like, oh, you do this thing. Ha, well, that's super weird or very feminine or whatever. And then I'll tell you how to do it better.
Yeah.
Like, all the time I've seen this in my real life. It's so funny.
It's so well, and
it's also
especially
so bad.
in this case. I think part of it is going. That's peculiar because you're perceived to be a higher class than
Right.
I am.
Of course, I have to cook for myself. I'm a vegetable vendor, but that's weird.
Hey,
Strange hobby.
that softens them up. And I apologize for the use of the slur there. I'm trying to use it in sort of a reclamative sort of fashion. I use queer all the time, but it is sort of that thing going, you're a little odd, aren't you? Because that's what. So using it historically and also with sort of the connotations of it being kind of used aggressively.
Being very aggressive. I would say, and both of us are in the reclaim category of, yes, proudly queer.
Yes.
Queer being a positive umbrella term.
Yes.
Yep.
But you're not done yet. If you're not careful, they lose their flavor.
And then you eat mush. Another reason I've avoided them.
I don't boil, I roast. I cube the turnips and then roast them for the same length of time.
So you boil them to soften them, then you cube the softened ones and roast them. Ooh, that's a lot of work.
But there is a secondary step.
You mean a third step?
Well,
Because it's boil, then roast.
oh, no. Or I choose not to boil. He said some people do this. I roast.
I roast, okay.
If you fail to do that, they will still not appear.
I am not convinced.
Just wait, hear me out. When the roasted cubes are soft and golden brown, I toss them with some apple cider vinegar and parsley. The vinegar locks in and enhances the flavor.
Huh. I wonder if this is a real recipe, because I'm vaguely intrigued.
So am I,
I'm
actually.
like, but do you, like, salt them or anything? I don't have time for a secondary step. That sounds like it would take ages. It sounds... Wait. A secondary step, not just a primary step. To maintain the flavor, to maintain the state,
change,
the state,
yeah.
yeah. A secondary change is required.
Now you have it. Won't you buy one?
1. I'll buy 2, 3, no, a dozen. I need to keep this concept in my head.
Yes.
He's trying to find our house.
Or he's wandering around. Alright.
It's much too hot in here to be dressed like this. Well, we need to dress like a woman. It's fine. Now. Oh, you don't get to. What did the vegetable vendor say? He talked about maintaining a state. I mean, he did talk about turnips.
I mean, he talked about turnips. But well, what to you did you care about? I think
Maintaining
a
the state.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maintaining a state. Yes. What was it he did to keep the flavor in the turnips? Ah! We can't even change. We're just going to be found out. That's part of the plot.
Yeah, I was like...
To maintain a state.
I think the thing is this is supposed to
change.
obviously cause you just anxiety and frustration.
I think so.
Yeah.
I assume that's it. You don't have to open the fucking door. Oh.
I was about to say, that was...
We didn't get to...
That was such like a... Okay, I want to say that was a... We will force you to have a jump scare, basically. Does that make sense? Like, if I had anything... Again, now you're having this built-in anxiety, you're watching the guy walking around, you're going, oh god, he has to be the one at the door, and then forcibly, for the first time...
We don't get to choose
We don't get to choose. I'm like, that was bullshit.
Yeah. I'm glad you're here. What?
You said... Did you say Nicole?
I did say Nicole.
Okay, I was
said
like,
Nicole!
I
I'm glad you're here.
Aha!
Do it. Oh. We're going to cook turnips.
Turnips? You know I hate cooking, Emma.
That's
Emma? Shelley's... That woman! This changes everything. Yeah.
See, like I said,
You just have
You're
to.
not allowed to change.
That
you're
is
not allowed
such
to do something else.
weird.
All the choices they've given you, though, like you're allowed to change into Emma the minute you get home if you want to, every other time, but not this time. And you're allowed to answer the door when it's been knocked on every other time, and this time you can't.
Also, Nicole said I'll call you M.
Mm-hmm. She did.
So, what the fuck?
So why didn't she call us M? Excellent point.
Actually, like, that was so deeply set up, like, we ran out of ideas, oh shit, we changed something, like... That sounded like that was just way too contrived.
That's deeply shoehorned in and it's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
The same evening...
Yeah.
When I don't know this happens, but we've made sure that you, the player, do.
Mm-hmm, pretty much.
Oh god, I'm so uncomfortable.
great. Hi, we have no weekly challenge this week because Zala has lost faith in us.
Lost faith in you, possibly. Zala knows there will always be a place for an applied mathematician like me.
Emil? Have you decided, Emil? Will you speak to my class?
Oh, God. I forgot we were thinking about that. And, okay, I think without knowing the whole bit about Schneller, we would say yes.
I mean, yeah, I think at this point...
I feel like we've gotten to a point where we would be like, you know what? My persona is sturdy enough. I've leaned into it enough. Even that conversation of self-examination with our young compatriot would be like, we would agree. But me as the player, I want to say no because I'm terrified. I don't know why the game is doing this. I will.
Thank you. Will tomorrow evening be convenient? My class meets at 7.
Yes, my friend, I will be there.
Yeah, here we go.
And then it's going to be bad.
Shell! I have read your research.
We're non-responsive.
It is claptrap.
Why are we just frozen like this?
It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Because it's a cutscene.
Yes.
I would feel like we would respond.
The meanderings of an unfocused, illogical mind.
Yeah, throw it. Yep.
You are wrong.
You are wrong, Professor. I am much further along since I wrote those notes. I can hear the lion's song. I believe I am very close to a solution.
Stop. The what?
So, I assume, and have for a little while now, that the name of this game is some kind of a colloquialism. The lion's song is a phrase that means something somewhere.
Alright, I'm curious. I'm going to look it up because that seems deeply, random to me.
Yes, I was going to say, and it's not a colloquialism, I know.
Right?
But...
Hang on, I'm gonna Google and hopefully this won't just turn into, hey, you could get the game, because I'm afraid it's gonna
I think it would be like the lion song saying.
Alright, hang on.
I think you specifically need to be as a saying or colloquialism. Pardon us, we do research on this.
We kind of do. I'm actually, because I'm just to
YouTube
me,
channel.
That's still really bizarre. Okay, I'm really not able to find anything about it. Okay. So who knows what it is. We'll have to spend more time probably looking at that later if I remember to. But yeah, so I don't know where this from. If any of you guys in the audience actually have any idea, that would be awesome. But I've never heard of that before in my entire life.
I'll say, or... It could be...
It's sort of an in-universe thing that we've
something
developed.
They made up for themselves. Sort of like the various made up and coined terms inside the remainder.
Yeah, exactly.
I was going to say, but to me, I have glarked from context that the whole thing is some kind of a term for something.
Yes.
I believe I'm very close to a solution. But yeah, if it's made up, that makes it harder.
Then let us put it to the test, shall we? A debate at the university at your earliest convenience.
Oh dear.
If you are man enough.
Specifically. Ooh! Everyone. Ooh! I mean. Ooh! Yes.
Yeah, okay. So, Professor, you have nothing but my respect. Sir, if I could explain, I was hoping you could help me with the equation.
If you insist, then so be it. Okay,
I honestly
so for me, you start in with this, and then you say this. That is how you start this conversation. But I
don't know if it'll let you. Yeah, I'm kind of... Because I was kind of thinking, going, Professor, you have nothing but my respect. I was actually hoping you could help me with the equation.
Exactly.
Because this is actually, trying one last time.
So if I was this character, that, M would know what these two things meant and which one would be more likely the better way or the one she would be more inclined to approach him with. More effective.
Right.
But I don't know. And this sounds very weird from you've just issued a challenge.
Right.
This sounds very, defensive, kind of but I was, that kind of thing. So I'm going to go with this one.
Sure, why not? Let's give it a try.
Professor, you have nothing but my respect.
You are a fraud, Shell. Your hesitation proves it.
Hesitation? I'm speaking to Professor Nender's class tomorrow evening at 7. Would that be soon enough?
That will do nicely.
Soon enough for what?
But this should not be confined to Professor Nenner's class, because I am going to humiliate you in front of everyone. We will debate in the main lecture hall, but I want to...
Okay, but inviting a debate into his class without his permission is not acceptable.
I don't know how this
I'm
shit
going
works.
to have a guest speaker is very different than I'm going to host a debate. And also, I'm just going to take over what your class is?
Weird. Before the mathematics faculty and the students of the University of Vienna. Do you agree?
What? No, I would not agree to that.
I don't know anything about this.
I agree.
My biggest
character
promise
knows
is that,
plenty about it.
Yeah, apparently. Why, Zoller? You are wrong to do this. All will become clear tomorrow, Nenner.
When I expose her as a woman.
Yes.
But also, why did we agree? That sounds like we're being arrogant and self-absorbed instead of talking it out and being surprised by his aggressive, sudden behavior.
Like we've done all the other times before, actually.
And we've tried to either defer or interact or redirect with it. And this time just do you agree to this really aggressive direct thing? I agree. And then we leave? Then we don't stay here and talk or anything. We just leave? Why?
I don't get it.
I am
And
confusion.
I promise you will be surprised. And then finally, all will be as it should be again.
There should be no women in mathematics, because without their brains here, we will all be fine and unchallenged.
Yeah, pretty much.
Whoa.
Oh, God.
Also, we agreed to do something in his class that he didn't consent to. And now he's gonna find us out. Because reasons.
Why is this over and over and over again? Like, this is just...
Also, why is our address on our paper?
I don't fucking... Oh, it's the
hello.
critic.
It is the critic. Just there. Wait.
He's checking, I think, is what it was. I was like, are you gonna go
I
back?
got distracted by a beautiful woman, sorry. I will ask. I was gonna say, one of them's going to ask about the person that lives here. And they're going to go, wait, I didn't get the right directions, or the right, or the right response, kind of thing.
Right.
But also, if a little girl has noticed a man going into your apartment, everyone else now thinks you're dating or having an assignation as well now.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, that is also a thing now. Knock, knock, and it's just gonna... Will we know not to answer the door like that? I presume yes.
Emil, Yep, we did not.
Who would say that... Oh, okay, well, I don't even know. Whew.
You forgot to take off Emil's glasses. Oh, you knew from the beginning. Is what
He
this
processes it very quickly. They make me dizzy if I wear them too long. That makes
what?
No sense. I left them on because they make me too dizzy if I wear them too long. They improve my division. Sometimes I'm not sure who I am anymore. I am Emil as well as Emma. I mean, at this point, you are both. But this doesn't make any sense.
But I'm like, so have we been having a subtle trans narrative the whole time? What are we talking about?
As I said, I think we are, which is really... but it's really in a way that I'm having a hard time accessing.
Me too.
But also... It may or may not actually be a trans narrative. Give me a second.
Right.
In the sense that it might just be, I belong in this social role, and this is the only way to access it, so I am both of these people. So because I am a mathematician, and Emil is allowed to be a mathematician, that means that's who I am.
Okay, so, hear me out, though. So what we might be looking at is going, because of our own experiences, we're more inclined to look at this basically as a queer or trans narrative.
Both of us are, yes, very much.
And the story is going, actually, I'm not. I'm sort of appropriating some of that, or just going, having a different conversation. So we might be looking at a different lens, and they're doing something else.
I would like to look at this as a trans narrative, though. Basically, if at this point, I figure trying to guess is not going to work well for me. So it does sound like what they're doing is going, if that fits you, that's who you are. And or going, this person has realized they're fully gender fluid. Mm-hmm. Even if the game developers weren't necessarily thinking that way, because there'd be no way to tell without talking to them. Mm-hmm. You know? Or without them making it much clearer later.
Right. I'm also like...
So
Nenner...
But also
you're just de-queerified Nenner so hardcore. I just knew you were a woman from the very beginning. Like, or that just pisses me off, just to be honest.
He doesn't have to have known from the beginning. It could also be a situation of going, I see you, I take this all in, and I process it, and then I retroactively go, oh, this has been the thing the whole time. and then just going, we forgot to do this.
But again, that is sort of excusing... do you get what I mean? It's like the thing with Mulan, where him going, I have this weird, sort of thing, and then when I found out, I was going, oh, okay, that makes sense.
It's okay. Bisexual Shang all the way.
Yeah, no, I know.
All right, anyway, so this one, like, also, we're reacting to this in stride and going, I guess you guys have become much closer friends than I realized.
Which I wish we would have been a part of.
Because you seem super chill about.
Right.
But they improve my division doesn't make any sense if they're hard for you to wear. And sometimes I'm not sure who I am anymore. I don't think she's having that problem. But I think it is I am both of these things because I am both of these positions.
Yeah, sure, let's do I am Emil as well as Emma.
I am Emil as well as Emma. I am not one or the other.
Your name is Emma?
Uh-huh. Reckensik. The first time I visited the Radius, I was dressed as you see me now. But without the glasses.
I'm sorry.
Your posture's throwing me off real hard.
Yeah, no, I did. Also,
in the
this coming out, it makes you seem like you're really, too tall.
Like, specifically
leaning
hanging out
forward.
the doorway, yes.
Because it gives a weird
It's
sort
okay.
of... Yeah, it's fine. I'm sorry. I remember a brief interruption. A woman.
Me.
I don't remember what she looked like.
There's no reason you would. It was a woman.
Because you guys are inherently sexist and male culture. So the culture of men is incredibly homoerotic. Actually, and focuses largely on men. I actually like this. So there was a dude that we ran into on TikTok where basically he was discussing kind of his perception and talking about it sort of from the perspective of being a bodybuilder.
It was the homoeroticism of toxic masculinity, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, and he really was talking about it in reference specifically in reference to working out and going and he started with the narrative of the myth is that working out will get you the attention of women and it's the truth is the working out will get you the attention of men. And it's like, and then he talks about how validation comes from men in our culture. It doesn't come from women. Even if you get women, you're validated by men for having the right women.
Yes.
Kind of thing. And so it's all about men interacting with men.
Yep.
Which is what this is.
Very homoerotic. Does Uller know?
No. We know he knows, but she doesn't know. No one does except a little girl upstairs. Everyone else thinks I'm having an affair. Or that I got married.
All right.
It's fine. Will you come in?
It
would be improper. You're gonna say it, aren't you?
It would not be proper.
Yes, you fucking are. Oh my god. I don't understand. We are friends. And you are sexist.
Emil and I are friends.
Then give me a second and I'll bring Emil to the door.
Holy shit. You are Emma. The two of us together in your room alone?
I am so close to my friend Emil. How could we not bone?
Actually, I love that sort of, again,
that's the
like casual displacement then going like, but like, okay, so it is actually even been a discussion in relation to like, there's a section of gay porn called straight for pay, or basically you're so straight, gay for pay. Excuse me, I forget what it is.
It's okay.
And
it rhymes.
what it is though is that is that you have basically a bunch of people who profess that they're straight and everybody stares at them and goes, what? You're having
for a living.
And they're like, no, I just have sex.
They're like, I have a job.
So what it is
my job.
And they actually talk about it, going like, it is this weird sort of extreme dissonance between like, what I'm doing is I'm having sex with something, not a person. It's a sexual act. It's not me doing a thing with a person. It's
it's one of those things again.
Bizarre.
And just of basically going especially American culture, which is what we're familiar with, like the USA culture.
The USA culture.
Of toxic masculinity and their particular brand. It really is an experience of going, men get validation from men, and everything in straight culture, which is the prime toxic masculinity, is no homo. And it really is, like, there is so much of, it doesn't matter if I'm, as long as I'm not doing certain things, or as long as I don't see myself that way, I'm still not gay.
Yeah.
It's a labels thing.
Oh, yeah, it's really, really interesting. It wouldn't be right, but
And I'm also just like, this is very solidly, it would be inappropriate with you because we would be involved. But it's like, that's also your friend.
Understand, I think. I also am not what I pretend to be.
Oh, really?
Are you gay?
Uh-huh.
Are you going through with the debate?
Oh, yes. But why? I promise you, I will be there.
Then I hope Zoller doesn't find out.
Yeah. What are you pretending, good sir?
He would crucify you.
Yeah, I know.
I think, okay. I think that makes... So they're going... This is the way we sort of surprise people of going, like, actually, we're friends because I'm a gay man.
I guess.
Because that is going one step too
And
far
also,
in the basically the heterosexual sphere, you know, the manosphere, as it were.
Maybe. The next evening. Do we get a save?
Do we?
Yay!
We get a save!
Good line.
Hooray! Good, excellent line. Okay, so thank you very much, everybody, for joining us. Welcome to the University of Vienna at 7:02 p.m. We will be finding out what's going on here in the next one. So if you like what we do, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and also share our videos. It actually helps us a lot out in regards to the algorithm, because it tells YouTube, hey, we're active, we're here. And that's
People are interested in our stuff.
Yes, absolutely. So if you do so, fantastic. If not, no obligation. Also, please feel free to go support us more directly by checking out our Ko-Fi and our Patreon and our Twitch and our Twitter, and oh god, we have other socials. Please check them out. There are links in the description down below, and we'd love to see you at one of those locations. And I have been Scandal.
And we deeply appreciate our patrons, Delta Whiskey and Palm TV. Thank you so much for your support, and I have been Liz.
And it was great playing with you. Bye!